Hi, everyone. It's Martin Waxman from SpinSucks with our SpinSucksAMA, and I'm really excited to introduce our guest today, Marisa Ricciardi. Marissa is the former CMO of the New York Stock Exchange and a former VP of Goldman Sachs, and she is currently the founder and CEO of her own agency, the Ricciardi Group. Now, I'd say you've had a pretty impressive career, Marissa, because in less than 5 years, you built a client roster that includes Fortune 500 companies like Adobe, Google Cloud, BNY Mellon, and also emerging tech brands. You've also received a bunch of awards. In 2017, Marissa was named Marketing Entrepreneur of the Year. In 2018, she was distinguished as one of Inc.'s 10 leading ladies changing business as usual. And the Ricciardi Group was named Financial's top 12 agencies of the year. And this past September, the Ricciardi Group was named to Inc. 5000 as one of America's fastest growing companies. So looking forward to your insights. Welcome, Marissa.
Great, thank you.
I want to ask you what you think are the three biggest measurement challenges marketers and PR pros face when it comes to demonstrating our value to the C-suite, and then how we might be able to address those challenges.
Sure, great question. Thank you for having me. So the first question, what are the three challenges? I'd say number one is understanding what the management team really values. So what do they value? How are they defining metrics and KPIs? What does the board value? So you have the management team, and then you also have their board if it's a public company. And I think understanding what they value and then answering that is sort of the way to help address that challenge. But you also have to answer the question in a way that's right, meaning they may value something that is important, but you don't think it is the most important metric. So sort of knowing your audience. So answering and providing information that they view is important, same thing with the board. And then at the same time, sort of augmenting that with what you know is the professional answer. And not all times it's the same. So I find a lot of times the questions are more around vanity metrics and things that you think about in terms of impressions or click rates, which many teams feel that's important because there's numbers associated with it and it's sort of more the common nomenclature, but that may not be the right way to measure. So instead of, you can educate, but I think usually provide this and as opposed to or is one challenge. I say the second challenge is the definition of what they're looking to define and how they define that. So for example, a KPI could be a stage that a new lead is in. It could be the lead type. It could be, there's many different scenarios on how you're defining whether it's a marketing qualified lead, whether it's a sales qualified lead. Again, in terms of the definitions, I think it could be really challenging to understand where they're coming from. And so a way to get around that is to just be really simple and define the simple plan. Recently, I attended a podcast and a meeting with Adam Bryant, who writes for the corner office, the CEO corner office, I think for the New York Times. And he has a very simple plan. It's called the Simple Plan. And he talks about how he's found in his years of researching CEOs, what resonates the most is when CEOs understand and the board understands the simple plan and the short, sort of the very three things that a company's trying to do and how they're going to measure themselves. Not 5 things, not 10 things, but 3 things. And I found that really resonated with me, and I've been thinking about it because it's brand marketers sometimes talk about a true north, and they talk about a guiding star and a principle and one single mission or one single vision. But if you think about that in economic terms and provide a very clear plan and then economically how you're going to measure it, I think that's something everyone can get on board with, no pun intended, the board, the management team, as well as employees. And then the third is explaining the why. I think a lot of challenges marketers face is sometimes teams don't understand brand as being crucial. They view performance marketing and lead generation as good marketing. And in many cases, companies view brand and brand metric as all that matters. If you're getting a lot of attention and you're getting a lot of coverage and people know who you are, but you're not actually performing. I mean, it's sort of crazy how many companies are out there that are not profitable, and that's sort of an accepted thing in the VC world because they don't want you to be profitable for the first few years and you're just burning through in order to build. And so I think it's important to understand why you're doing something, both brand as well as performance marketing, and the answer may be different for each, but you can't just focus on just the brand or just the numbers. It really needs to be both.
Okay, great. That's a great answer. Talking about this, can you recommend some resources that marketing and communications pros can use to learn how to implement KPIs that are, that aren't vanity metrics, that are linked to business goals?
Sure. We are a big fan of HubSpot, both as a marketing automation system, as well as a source for great content. They have a great blog on their website. It's ungated, it's free content. HubSpot and Marketo as well, which was just bought by Adobe. They have great blogs and examples of templates for different dashboards and sort of helping understand what to measure that matters. And I think they break it down in very simple human terms. So those are two great resources. A third is a very sort of simple Google hack, which is if you Google the state of X and you use capital S for the state, you could do the state of KPIs, the state of dashboards, the state of board management. Sort of choose your topic du jour, what you're looking to solve for, and many times it'll serve up reports and presentations and best practice examples on what specifically you're looking for. So for example, if it's the state of MQLs versus SQLs, it'll probably point you to a very direct blog on the difference between those two types of KPIs. So I share that with a lot of new folks that have joined the agency as just a quick way to get up to speed using that search term. And then I'd say lastly, and as a selfish marketing plug, we have a blog on our website on the riccardygroup.com, and we just published a piece, I think a month ago, called What You Should Stop, Start, and Continue. So translation, what isn't working and how to stop wasting your time and energy measuring these things is the start, the stop. Sorry, that was the stop. From the start, how can you start to think more creatively about different ways to serve up solutions? And then obviously, finally, the continue, what do you double down on? What do you really amplify? And that's a great blog, and there's tons of tips in there, not just from us, but from our clients and people that we've interviewed in the industry.
Okay, that's really great. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be in our SpinSucksAMA. Marissa Ricciardi, CEO of the Ricciardi Group. We'll look forward to reading your blog more.
Thank you so much, Martin. Have a good day. Thank you for having us.
Bye.